We got to move on to musical chit chat.
I wanted to talk about this like crazy thing. If you guys know The Who, right? If you listen to Marble Statues, you probably listened to classical rock before. Classic rock. So yeah, The Who is like one of the biggest classic rock artists from like the 70s or whatever. So Pete Townsend, the guitarist, he's famous for all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But there is this basically like an idea that he had called the Lifehouse Method. Basically what he wanted to achieve was to be able to create an accurate musical portrait of a person based on like a picture of them, data about their height and descriptions about their behavior and all that kind of stuff. So he wanted to do that and then eventually like have this giant concert where all of the songs were played for all the people and everyone would attend and they would all be like played together and it would represent this like huge like crazy unification of like the human spirit and all that stuff. So it like really out there stuff. I mean, this was the 70s, you know. Everyone was like taking acid and smoking weed. So like people like record labels and like producers and stuff, because he had an idea for a movie. But he scared a lot of people off with this idea because it's very outlandish. But he had an idea for the movie. There was like this family that like lives out in the country and they have everything provided for them. Everybody lives on the grid, which is like everything gets sent to them, almost kind of like Amazon and Uber Eats. Like, I don't know, so weird. He had this vision of the future with like, he even thought about like, oh, computers making music and being interconnected and all that stuff, like way back in the day. So, I mean, maybe the acid did something for him.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea was in the movie, this family hears about this concert. It's the Lifehouse concert. And they decide they want to go attend. So they go on this journey and they end up getting there early and they have their portraits made and all this stuff. And there's like this like emotional thing. And it like, it's really like, it's giving me chills like talking about it because it's really like weird concept.
Yeah.
Creating a musical portrait of a person. I know you want to say something about that, but say it in a minute because I have something to kind of say about that.
Sure.
But like, so basically, like, yeah, it's like this really like futuristic thing. And I've been thinking like, or when I heard about it, I thought like, oh yeah, 2021. Surely, like, we have crazy algorithms that know more about you than you know about yourself. Kind of like. It's surely like it's possible in this day and age, or if it's not yet, then it will be. Because like there was like a computer that wrote a song, like they fed it a bunch of Beatles songs, and it wrote like a Beatles song. That was like 5 years ago, and that's ancient in technology.
Yeah.
But I found out like in 2007 on his website, he actually had the Lifehouse Method thing set up. And some people actually were able to do it. You can find some of them on YouTube if you search for the Lifehouse Method. And there's some of them that were generated. Oh, and some of their most famous songs, including Baba O'Reilly, or you know, like you said earlier, Teenage Wasteland is probably what most people know it as.
Yeah.
It starts off with this synthesizer thing. That's from the experiment.
Mind blowing,
right? So then, yeah. So and Baba O'Reilly is like a combination of two people's names. I can't remember who they are. So he already started doing this, and then yeah. So in 2007, but I mean, it's just a synthesizer, like generating a track based on data. So the songs, you can go listen to them on YouTube. They're okay. They're not super interesting. And like I said, that Baba O'Reilly song, I think the synth part was generated from that. But obviously, like, the machine isn't writing the lyrics or the guitar parts and all that stuff. But like I said, we have algorithms now that could almost like achieve this. What if in the future you could come home and be like, man, I had a rough day. Push a button and this computer writes a song specifically about your day and that makes you feel better. Like, wouldn't that be nuts, dude? Like, isn't that absolutely like weird to think about?
You were explaining this to me earlier and I was just like, what? Like, does it mean though?
Yeah, what does it mean to like a musical portrait?
At some level, it's like, it's not like light. You know what I mean? It's not like reproducing light. A picture, you take a picture and it's like the light. All you have to do is figure out how to make the light like reproduce itself on the canvas or digitally or whatever that, or you know what I mean? But something like
Yeah, but
this,
that's a
like
portrait.
musical. I know, but a musical portrait, like there's nothing that exists that's analogous. So at some level, you're making an arbitrary decision that, like,
You're
if
deciding,
they're
like-
tall, the tempo is fast.
Yeah.
Or if they're blonde or whatever, you know what I
Or
mean?
they have like a happy personality. They're
Yeah.
super nice. It's maybe like a calm,
Or a major key.
yeah,
Yeah.
major key or something. Yeah.
They brought this up on Rogan. They said they still had to handpick all the parts where Lex Friedman did. Algorithms make this stuff, but people still compose it. It's far from
Right.
AI creating it start to finish. Still, it's crazy that's happening though. So,
But
Yeah.
well, but like you brought up the example of a picture. I was gonna say, what about a painting? People paint portraits. too.
Sure.
But even a picture, it's still up to the artist's interpretation, because you decide the lighting, the angle, even like how zoomed in on your face you are changes
Yeah.
the way their face looks. So if you take it from close up, or if you take it from far away and zoom in on their face is gonna look totally different.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can either do like really harsh lighting and make them kind of look bad, or you can do super smooth lighting and make them look like a supermodel. So even pictures, it's all subjective, and it's up to the artist's interpretation.
best example is our tank top pics where it looks like I have muscles.
Yeah, Photoshop or not, it's up to the artist's interpretation, like what the portrait like means or whatever.
Right.
I think that the compositions that have come out of his specific project have been probably lacking the emotional depth to like truly resonate on a level with each person. And then well, like you have to take into account, like sometimes happy people like to listen to sad music, or vice versa. Like
Sure.
it depends, but like I'm saying, I think at some point in the future, something like this, maybe not even like be an idea. It might just be a thing.
Yeah.
Like it might not be the fact that like someone talks about it. They're like, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Like, because that was like kind of the closing point I wanted to say is like Spotify has like crazy amounts of data on each individual song. Like they analyze like how much of like spoken wordedness it has to it, or like if it has like a heavy bass line, or
Yeah.
like I've seen some of the little like terms that they use, and like some of it's like, wow, they actually like,
Yeah.
so almost like Spotify is kind of already doing it by recommending you songs that they know you're gonna like,
Right.
but they're not composing the songs specifically
Right.
for you.
Yeah.
But I don't even doubt in my mind that someday like that will just exist. And then it's like, well, like our artists gonna still be relevant?
Honestly,
like, well,
dude.
we still have a job.
Honestly, dude, the only thing I have to say about all of this, I can sum it up in one sentence. Robots can't make art.